Hey, Shane Smith here with Mind Matters, Navigating Head Injuries and Concussions. I'm here with John Mobley from the Concussion and Brain Injury Group here at Shane Smith Law. John, we're going to talk about basically how to pick out a car, the safest car for yourself, right?
That's right. So we wanted to kind of focus today's chat, Shane, on what sort of vehicles and what features that people can keep a lookout for when they're picking their vehicle to keep both them and their family members safe and to try and reduce and minimize injuries to the greatest extent possible.
Now, I know years ago my mom used to always look at Consumer Reports and whatever that said the safest car was, that's it. But I know we're going to talk not just about cars, but also features inside of the cars, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And is there a clear winner?
We work sometimes with some outside referral attorneys, in some cases product liabilities attorneys. And one of the major brands that they've said has been just far and away the best from a safety feature standpoint throughout the years is Volvo. Of all car brands, I know.
I say that just because that's what my mother used to drive, and she always harped on Volvo over and over. And to be honest, they were never my favorite car, so I was hoping you were going to tell me something else.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the one. I, too, inherited a very old Volvo from my parents with the same thing that wanted to keep us safe back in the day.
Yeah, and I just never loved the body style of that car compared to my little BMW or my little sports car.
Right.
Which I'm sure is not as safe as the Volvo.
Nowadays, we have a lot more data and information available for people making that decision. You mentioned Consumer Reports, still a great one because they factor a lot of some of these organizations that we're going to talk about a little bit later on into their safety top pick features.
Okay.
So a lot more information is out there now because it truly does spans the entire spectrum. One car is not created equal to another car brand when it comes to safety, and sometimes it's even hard to navigate because certain cars within a company may be safer than other models that the company makes.
And even similar style cars, this one can just be much safer than the other one, even within a company.
Right.
Great. So what's our first topic? And we're going to talk about features, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've come a long way in the past few decades and even beyond that with adding safety features to cars that really help protect occupants and reduce the level of their injuries that they sustain. Because when we have cars that are traveling 30, 40, 50 miles per hour and you have sudden impacts where you go from 40 miles an hour to 0 miles per hour very fast, it exerts an incredible amount of energy and damages onto the bodies of the people inside those cars. And that's why we see our clients sustain concussions, brain injuries, just all sorts of things, whiplash injuries, things that really impact and hurt people when they're involved in these accidents. So one of the safety features that we see having a huge improvement in more recent models is just the glass that's used. It used to be a type of glass that would basically spider web and shoot shards everywhere.
I know, I remember those days. I mean, and glass would be everywhere inside of a car.
It just really compounds the injuries. These days, it's more of a laminate that's used, so the glass is actually sandwiched in between some laminate. And what it does is, when impacts occur to the glass, instead of breaking into a million pieces, it actually keeps all the glass together, protecting some of the occupants. Also, the material that the glass is made out of, actually, when like a head or a body part impacts it actually has better results in terms of injuries.
The glass itself is safer in the sense that it cushions it a little bit, I guess, and it keeps all the glass together so you have less of those fragments coming in and cutting people. And
that's absolutely right, and that's kind of one of the big things that we've seen advancements in just to protect people in motor vehicle accidents.
Is it all the glass inside the car, all the windows, or is it just like the front windshield, or is it sides and back too?
So for this specific type of glass, it's mainly the front windshield.
Okay.
Some of like the side window glasses, they may have it, but I would imagine the majority do not.
Okay.
They're going to break normally in the way that glass used to break.
Okay. After the glass, so we want this particular